What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Bridging to Geekdoms. This is actually free talk, but getting in my car going home. Some big news dropped just probably about 30, 45 minutes ago, and didn't have time to probably put this all together, but I wanted to talk about it. I wanted to discuss this because it's just pretty huge in the grand scheme of things when it comes to what's going to happen with films and Hollywood moving forward. And I think a lot of people, taking a quick glance at what just was announced and is going to be happening in 2021, I don't think people realize that this is the start of something different, something that was inevitable, but I didn't think was going to happen for a few more years. Unfortunately, the pandemic is causing things to get sped up a little bit in this regard. And I don't know. I want to know what everybody's feelings are on this. So it's been announced that all of Warner Brothers movies for 2021 will be releasing day and date on HBO Max as well as in theaters. That is pretty huge. I mean, that is astronomical. That is unprecedented. Like, that's never happened before, in that scale. We saw movies, test that out over the past couple years, but it hasn't worked. And I think the reason why it hasn't worked is because it's like, okay, you can go see a movie. Like, for instance, I have a theater near me that I can go see a movie for $5, brand new movie, when they're open. Or you could go and buy it on demand or digitally rent it for $30. To me, it was always a no-brainer. I like the movie-going experience, so yeah, I'd go to the theater, pay the $5, maybe an extra $8 for popcorn. Yeah, it's weird that the popcorn and drink are way more than what the ticket is, but go, buy the popcorn, buy the drink, and enjoy myself at the theater. Now, the fact that Warner Media is pushing this direction is showing me that this is going to be a test year for them. They're shifting their focus to streaming. HBO Max is huge. $15 a month, $14 a month is not a bad deal for the amount of content that they're putting out. I just finished watching The Watchmen on there, which I don't know why I was so late to the party. That show was phenomenal. But when you really, truly think about it, this is a big, big deal. This is something that is going to shake up Hollywood and change the way that movies are released moving forward. Now, the pandemic isn't helping at all. Theaters are struggling. People are afraid to go to the theater, thus making it where releasing movies theatrically just doesn't make sense. Why would you release a movie theatrically when it's only going to make a quarter of what it could have made pre-pandemic? Now, I'm not sure what the idea is about releasing them via streaming, how they're going to calculate the income that they make from that. I can assure you that with a handful of these movies, I'm just going to mention a few of them. I don't have the list here of all of them in front of me, but it starts this Christmas with Wonder Woman 84. Talked about it about a week or two ago when they first announced that, hey, this is going to go straight to streaming and theaters at the same time. I talked about how I felt that this was Warner saying, look, we don't have a lot of confidence in this movie to be able to withstand being delayed again. I still stand by that. I believe that the ongoing issues that happen with DC films and behind the scenes with all that Ray Fisher has claimed, everything that happened that's been going on, I think that plays a part in their lack of confidence in that movie. But I think that they also didn't believe that it could withstand another delay being pushed, potentially another 3 to 6 months. And that's why Wonder Woman 84 was like, hey, we're going to release in theaters now and we're going to release it on streaming at the same time. These other movies, though, I can't sit there and say that it's due to lack of confidence because no one really knows what they expect. We've seen a couple trailers for a couple of these movies. The biggest one so far is Dune. Dune's going to be a huge film when it comes out. It was supposed to come out earlier this year, I think this December. I think this week it was supposed to come out, but it got pushed back all the way to next year. So, that movie there, that's going to be huge. People are looking forward to it. Matrix 4 is due to come out in 2021. Another huge movie. Now, I have a feeling that has a potential for being delayed, only because I know that production was held up due to COVID. But as of right now, it hasn't been delayed. It hasn't been pushed back. It's still on track for 2021. That's another huge movie. You sit there and you start to think about, like, man, this is kind of a big deal, and you start to really realize, like, let's be honest, Matrix would not have been a $1 billion movie. I'm sorry, $1 billion movie. It wouldn't have been, with how poorly the second and third installments were received. The fourth one would probably make a nice amount. It would definitely be a profitable film, but I don't think it would have hit that $1 billion mark. So let's talk about Matrix here. Let's see, like, what is a feasible amount that would have made in theaters. My guess is it probably would have made around the $700 to $800 million mark. How can they calculate that? How can they justify even potentially making that much by dropping it on HBO Max? I don't understand, and I'm sure that the top dogs over at Warner understand how they can do that, but to me it's shocking, and this makes me think that they believe that they can be profitable on these movies doing release at day and date in theaters and streaming. And if that's the case, if this works out like they're thinking, if it's going to, they release these movies and, let's say it gets them, even if it gets them just 100 more subscribers, that month, that's money that they wouldn't have had coming from subscriptions that month, but it still doesn't make up the money that they make. I don't know. It's really hard to understand what they're doing here. I understand the idea and the concept of putting it on demand for $30, $40. I remember a few years back, I believe it was Steven Spielberg talked about how the future of filming of movies could very well end up being home releases, where you sit down and rent a movie for $50 to watch it at home so you and your family can enjoy it. I understand that idea, that concept. I just can't grasp that doing that with an entire year's release of films onto HBO Max, a subscription service, how that's going to benefit and make those movies profitable. Again, maybe there's some formula, maybe there's some way that they can determine on, and again, I'm sure the data of how many people watch it will correlate to the amount of money that person's subscription goes towards that, and so on and so forth. I'm sure there's something there. An entire year's worth of releases it baffles me. It's astonishing that they're going that route. And, we know Disney Plus, they've been doing it now for 2 years. Let's face it, The Mandalorian has a movie budget and looks phenomenal. And they've done 2 seasons where it's been very successful. HBO had The Watchmen. That was very successful. Game of Thrones, very successful. And they were all subscription services. But this, to me, there's something different about it. And I think it's phenomenal. I think it's a great thing. I mean, I pay for, 8 subscription services: Netflix, Amazon, Hulu, HBO Max. I don't know. I know I have a bunch. And I like to see amazing content pop up on there. I'm just shocked that Warner Brothers is like, hey, we're going to put our entire 2021 release on there. It's insane to me to think. I don't know. I want to know everybody else's thoughts. I want to know what you all think. I want to know what your feelings are on this. I'm a theater guy. I love going to the movie theater. I love sitting in there in the environment. I've talked about this so many times, where I just get to sit in the uncomfortable chairs in some cases, or it's more about the experience. There's something about experiencing a movie opening night with friends or with people you don't even know, but you just have the same interest. You have the same excitement level for this film, this movie that's being released. Let's take the last one that I truly got to do that with, and that would be The Rise of Skywalker. I went, me and a couple buddies, we went to the theater, all excited. I mean, come on, who wasn't excited for The Rise of Skywalker? All excited. We get there, and it was just an experience. We get there early, talk to people who are excited to see the movie. We talk ourselves. We go have dinner. We speculate on what we're going to see. We go to the movie, come out. We see all the excitement on everybody else's faces. You see excitement on our faces, and then you make that decision. Do we want to go see it again? Do we want to go back in? Do we not? It's just that experience. I don't want that to go away. And I'm worried that Warner Brothers is away from that. It's going to be interesting to see how everything pans out moving forward when it comes to Hollywood and films. How are the other companies going to respond to this? This is very, very interesting, because Disney, Warner Brothers, Sony, they all have a plethora of movies, plus Paramount and so many others. They have a plethora of movies coming out next year, a lot of which were pushed back from this year to next. Not all of them have their own streaming services to do this on. Universal, they can utilize Peacock. Disney can utilize Disney Plus. Warner Brothers can utilize HBO Max. But when you talk about Sony doesn't have anything right now. They don't have a streaming service that they can utilize to do something like this. So what's the answer? What's the response going to be from these other studios? And how is it going to affect theater going for all movies, not just Warner Brothers, but for all movies? Because, the thing is, COVID sucks. All right, this pandemic, I freaking hate it. It's annoying, and I want it to end. It's annoying that it's taken and put so much fear in so many people's lives. It's annoying. But that doesn't mean that we should be completely changing our lives. This pandemic is going to end in some form or fashion in some time. So the fact that we're going to start moving away from one of people's favorite pastimes, nothing better than going to the films with your friends on Friday night, Saturday night, especially when you're in high school. That is just something that you do with your friends. The fact that they're going to get away from that, that's what this is doing. This is pushing us away from that. And I'm sorry, I'm not ready for that to happen. Call me old school. Don't get me wrong. I'm gonna watch Wonder Woman 84 on the 25th. I'm gonna do it because I want to see the movie, and theater isn't open around me. But when a movie comes out and the theater is open, I want to go there and see it. And yes, Warner Brothers is giving that option. I get that. I'm going to do that. As long as it's safe, as long as the theater's open, I'm going to go see The Matrix there, Dune, and whatever else. Maybe take my daughters to go see the Tom and Jerry movie, which looks horrendous. But I don't want this to become the norm, because what's going to happen, and it's very well possible that one of two things are going to happen. Theaters are going to lose money, so they're going to shut down. So little areas like I live in right now that don't have a top tier theater, that theater is going to get shut down. That's the most likely scenario from this, especially when we discover or find out what the response from other companies will be. The other scenario is that Warner Brothers, they try this out and they find, well, crap, we're not making the money we want. So we're going to have to not make as many movies for the next 3 years, 4 years to make up the difference. So, I mean, what do we do? Like, do we get excited about this? Do we not? I don't know. Because I want to be excited. But then I talk myself out of it. Like, no, I want the movie theater experience to stay forever. And then I'm like, but how convenient is it? It's just, I think more bad comes from this than good. I don't blame, I fault Warner Brothers, but I don't blame Warner Brothers for trying this out. I mean, they need to make money. They're a company also. But I still believe that they need to sit down with these movie theaters. There are other options and other plans to make sure theaters stay alive and running. It really is. I'm going to do this real quick. What is up, little Trip? I know who you are. How's it going? Thanks for watching. But yeah, I mean, come on. I don't know. Like I said, there's a video you can find on YouTube. It's one of my free talks. It talks about what my ideas are to help save the theater industry, the movie theater industry. And it does, in large part, require that the movie industry, Warner Brothers, Disney, Universal, Paramount, Sony, all them, to pitch in. Because I don't care what you say, they're not going to make, I just don't see them making the kind of money on movies that they're making now or prior to COVID by doing this whole streaming thing. I don't see it. I don't see it. There's only so much money to go around. You pay Disney Plus, you pay $6.99. That's $7 of that one subscription that month that can be spread around obviously per subscriber, but there's only so much of that can be spread around to all of the people who are, or all the not people, but all the shows and movies and content that you're putting up there. Eventually, you're not going to have money to say, oh, let's continue making this content. So when you do that with movies that cost you $100 million to make, Matrix, Dune, Wonder Woman 84, when you do that for movies that cost that much, and not to mention the cost of marketing, I don't see how you can do that with a year's worth of content, films, because not only is it the films, but it's also the other content that they're going to have coming out. Let's not forget Zack Snyder's Justice League is coming out. We know roughly between $30 to $70 million was spent in finishing Zack Snyder's Justice League. There's rumors of other shows and other things, miniseries, that are going to be put on HBO Max. So where does this income come from? Where does this revenue, where does this money come from that they can cycle through all of these things? I'm excited because of the convenience. And I won't get mad at anybody else who's excited about it. As long as you don't pirate it, I don't see, look, you're doing what they want. They want you to sign up for their subscription. Sign up for their subscription. Pay that $14.99. Watch that movie that month. All right. Here's the thing, though. And then this is what I don't understand. Take Wonder Woman 84, for instance. It's going to be on HBO Max for 1 month. December 25th to January 25th. It'll be on HBO Max. So December 25th, you go pay that $14, $14.99, whatever it is. Pay that $14.99. You can watch that movie once a day for 15 days, which means you spent $1 to see that movie every single day. I mean, you could turn that into that month, which is then you spent 50 cents to watch that movie every single day of the month. 50 cents a day. That's just if you watch it. But now we're talking about $15 I want to watch it. My daughter's going to want to watch it. My son's going to want to watch it. It's 3 people right there for $15. Let's say we like it. We want to watch it the next day. The next day, that's 3 more watches. So within 2 days, you got 6 people watching that movie for only $15. I just don't see how it works. Maybe they're hoping people forget to cancel their subscriptions, and then it just goes for 3 months, and oh crap, I just spent, $45, $50 on a subscription service I only used 1 day back in December. Maybe that's what they're hoping for, but I don't know, guys. I really don't know. I'd love to see what you guys have to say. Let's see here. We go. Let's just say Disney's model at least makes monetary sense, $7 a month and $30 theatrical movie releases. You're exactly right, because that's what they did. Now I know that there was some discussion over that whole model, because I think it was, you pay that $30 as long as you have Disney Plus, you own that movie. If you get rid of Disney Plus, you don't have it anymore. Made sense to a certain point, but then they were selling it for $30 over on Vudu, and subscription you have to keep monthly. So there was a little bit of an issue there as well. They have to work those kinks out a bit. Whether it's, look, you got the Disney subscription, you paid the $30. You know what? If you want to buy it over on Vudu, it's going to be $45. Entice people to go to the Disney would make a little more sense. But again, it's a model that makes sense. You're right. But I think it's one that Disney is going to revisit, and I don't know if they're going to continue doing it that way. I really don't know if they're going to continue doing it that way. They may, but like you said, it does make sense. Financially for Warner, I just don't see how this makes sense, because you're not paying anything more than that $15 a month. And again, it just worries me, because what does that mean for people's jobs at Warner Brothers? What does that mean for the future of Warner Brothers? Again, much smarter men are working for Warner Media than I. And I mean, I guess they'll know what to do. I suppose they'll know what to do and understand how the budgeting works. Because I guess you got to figure, some of these films were filmed this year, so the money's already spent. Now it's just getting the product out. And maybe that's their mindset. Maybe they're not looking to the future. Maybe it's not like this is a 1-year thing. Like, we're going to do it this year because we want to make sure that all this stuff that we spent money on, that we at least make some money back from it. I could understand that. That makes sense. However, I don't know if it's the best idea, especially when right now you have all the other companies saying, you know what, we're going to hold out. Marvel Studios is holding out. They've pushed back Black Widow 4 times now. They're holding out. They may come around now. There may be a time, maybe by Christmas, where we hear Black Widow will be released end of January, early February, both on Disney Plus and in theaters. Eternals will be released on Disney Plus and in theaters. Spider-Man be released Disney Plus in theater. That's going to be a difficult one. And that's where it's really difficult for Disney, because they're sharing the revenue with Sony on that. So what are they going to do there? I don't know. I mean, it's insane. Absolutely insane. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm curious to see it. I really, truly am. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, yeah. Look, guys, thank you for watching. Hold on, I got another thing here real quick. Let's see. I wonder if they'll re-release it in the theaters. Heck, I'd pay to go see Tenet, Wonder Woman 84, Dune, etc. in theaters once it's safe. I'm 100% with you on that. As I've stated, I'm going to go to the movies when I can for the movies that I want to see. I will. And I agree. And I kind of thought that that's what was going to happen when the pandemic first started and theaters started closing down. And then they were trying to figure out what to do. And you got movies like Trolls that released, Birds of Prey, Sonic was quickly removed from theater. A lot of that stuff was taken out of the theaters quickly or just released digitally. I thought, well, hey, it would just make sense, do that, and then just throw in theaters again. Or for the first time, for those who wanted to see it theatrically. I'm all for that. I'm going to tell you right now, look, Dune is a 100% watch in the theater for me. I will find a way to watch it, and it would make sense. I honestly wouldn't mind if they went back to the model of 30 years ago, where release it in theater day and date. So I'm sticking with Wonder Woman 84 because it's the first one coming up. But take Wonder Woman 84, release in theaters on December 25th, keep it there 5-6 months. Keep it there for 5 or 6 months. What's the harm? Even if it comes out on DVD, keep it in the theater. You know, there's no harm in it. Whatever revenue you make is revenue that you make, you know? And how do you know some person isn't going to go watch that movie on DVD and say, man, this is what I wish I could have seen in theater. Oh, look, they're still playing it in theaters, and go check it out. Why not go to that format? I don't know. But I'm almost home. My free talks are usually way before this. But this is just such an interesting topic, and definitely want to get people on my show next week. I'm going to get back to my normal format next week. I'm not sure what day yet. I used to do Mondays and or Tuesdays for my normal show. Might be the same, might be Wednesday. I don't know yet. But keep in mind, I am going to be going back to my normal format. I will be doing free talks here and there from my car and big things like this, but my normal format will be back next week. But thank you for watching, guys. Thanks for the interaction, Caleb. Awesome when I have people, bouncing things off me, putting things on there. Love seeing that. Make sure you hit that subscribe button over on YouTube to be updated whenever I have new episodes. Check out some of my old past episodes. Smash that like button. Help me get visible. Help me get seen. Follow me on Twitter. I'm actually on TikTok now. I'm kind of doing some Bridging the Geekdoms themed things. It's not like me being just stupid all the time, which I am what I am, but I'm doing different things that with music and lists and stuff like that. So check that out. Bridging the Geekdoms. You can find me on there. Facebook, all that stuff. Head over to spoilerverse.com. That's our network. That's our website. Find all our network partners, our flagship shows, Spoiler Country, killing it. Over 500 episodes in now. They've interviewed some of the most amazing people. So yeah. With all that said, guys, thank you for watching. And again, Caleb, thanks for watching and interacting. Talk to all of you later.